All right, welcome to another exciting edition of Sports in 60 Minutes, the energetic and vibrant sports show where we bring you the latest happening in the world of sports. My name is Olamide Onwuka, standing in for Femi Faraway, or the guy that calls himself Femi F. If you know, now you know. Femi, look, if you're watching, I just want to say, look, guy, I don't miss you. I'm sure it's the same with the rest of the guys. But I have Princewill Oviesan with me in the studio. And I've also got Opeyemi, imoru. How you guys doing today?
We're good.
I have to ask this question. Please tell me you're not missing Femi. Just say, I'm not missing Femi. That will make me happy.
I'm missing Femi.
You miss Femi?
I actually miss him.
All right, so Femi, I guess the majority have it. The eyes have it. They said they miss you. So I have to join the bandwagon and say, look, we miss you. We can't wait for you to come and join the show again next week. Femi, see you. So guys, we'll be looking at the President's Federations Cup this week, and we'll also take a look at the UEFA Champions League that played out during the midweek, and look at the preview of games in the UEFA Champions League, the second leg semi-final will be coming up next week. Then we'll take a look at the top 5 hottest prospects that clubs could buy in the transfer window, the summer transfer window coming, and give you some of our tips for the games this weekend. Lots to look up to in this game and this show as well. So stay with us, we'll take a break and come back with the show proper. All right, welcome back to Sports in 60 Minutes. Let me quickly say that you can be part of this community on our social media handles that is scrolling just there on your screen. Do well to follow us and keep in touch. Let us know what you want to talk about and give us some of the comments and contribution as we go on. All right, let's get straight into it. Princewill, we have to talk about the President Federations Cup quarterfinals. Interesting matchup for me. I think the one that stands out for me, it has to be the game between Rangers and Plateau United. What do you think about that game?
Is it because I'm a strong fan of Rangers International?
Not necessarily, actually. Yeah. I just want to know, because I feel like Rangers, you know, this is a team, a generational team in the MPFL. So they have this long history. This cup is something that has actually evolved over time. So this is a very important tournament for them to win.
I was just putting your leg, Femi is very used to that. so I thought you were coming through. Well, that as it may, it's going to be a fantastic game. 2 top-notch teams within the MPFL. 2 teams that have also been ex-champion of the Federation Cup. It's going to be mouth-watering and exciting. At this level, it's anybody's game.
Anybody's game. Opeyemi Tourist against Ikorodu City.
I think Wiki Tourist.
Did you just say Ikorodu City?
Ikorodu City.
Of course, you give Ikorodu City.
I think Wiki Tourist will come with a mindset of, they want to get a win, but I think it's going to be a very difficult one for them. I'm making Ikorodu City to take this one because they've been good all season in the FA Cup, in the proper league itself. They've been fantastic, so I'm picking them to nick this one.
Okay, so it's interesting. Let's quickly state that the eventual winner of the President Federations Cup picks an automatic ticket to represent Nigeria at the CAF Confederations Cup. So this is another avenue to get to the continental, like you said, the back door. So do you think this, I mean, looking at the rest of the teams, you have Abakaliki, you have Nasarawa United. I mean, do you think that either of these guys, or maybe we can even see Abakaliki FC going up to just nick that ticket to represent?
You know the exciting part of the Federation Cup, and that has always been my cliche, the surprise element, teams that are unknown. Abakaliki is an NLO team, and right now they are in the quarterfinals of the Federation Cup. That's exciting to me. Even if they don't go more at this level, they've done pretty well by bringing on that nostalgia that the Federation Cups holds. So any team that represents us, it's all good and well.
Well, do you think Abakaliki can stage what will be more or less like an upset in the match against Nasarawa United?
I think they did that coming into this particular tie by beating Eimba. Nobody saw that coming, but they have their chances against Nasarawa United. Nasarawa United too, I think they won this most, but who said upset cannot be staged? So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, the last match in the quarterfinals of the Federation Cup will see Aqua United play against Kwara United. So that's the matchup for the President's Federations Cup. One thing that has actually been a historical tournament in Nigeria. We're looking forward to it, and also we know that once the matchup is played and then we have the semi-finals, we're going to get the eventual 2 teams that will be playing the final. Okay, let's move our attention away from that and still stay in Nigeria, but talk about the under-20 team, which is the Flying Eagles. These guys are getting ready to, get their tournament, to just get it on the way. And they'll be playing against Morocco. Princewill, Nigeria against Morocco, the Flying Eagles. Just run us through your expectations for the game.
Well, at this level, the Moroccans have not actually had it better than us. We've always been up there. But the group of boys Zubair has brought to bear, they are strong, young, determined young lads who also want to make name for themselves aside representing the nation. I think it's a fine squad. I've seen them take some few games. I expect them to get a victory. Though the Moroccan under-20 team is a crack team, but I see us getting a victory over them.
Okay. The players to look out for. I mean, we've seen different players from the under-20 tournaments going on to represent the Super Eagles, some of them actually. I mean, but could you tell us some of the few players that we should look out for, like standout players in this team?
Yeah, all of the players, for the fact that they made it to, represent Nigeria in this particular stage. I think they are all fantastic. But we should look out for Barobo Hariri and the goalkeeper Hakot that played for Sporting Lagos. Barobo played for Beyond Limits Football Club. I think those 2 guys, they are notable mention to look out for in this particular tie.
Now, talking about the coach, right? I mean, because a lot goes down to how you manage these boys. Do you think the coach of this team really knows what he's doing? And do you think Nigeria can go all the way to get the cup? This is an open question. I'm not calling anybody, right? Anyone who thinks Nigeria can go all the way. Looking at the fact that you have Senegal, the defending champion, you have solid opposition, Egypt, the host. I mean, it used to be, of course, Ivory Coast, but then they pulled out. Egypt, of course, we played them in the friendly and we beat them. But do you see the Flying Eagles going all the way to get this tournament?
Considering the fact that Ali Zubair is a very fine gentleman, a coach with so much apt of technicality, we've seen what he did with Academy Warriors. I think we should give him all the support he needs. We should just give him that backing that a coach will need. And considering the fact that you're playing a major tournament that will also take you to the qualifying series to be at the Under-20 World Cup, we want to see them do well. Picking up the tournament is a different ball game. If we get to the semis, that's my own requirement for the team. I think they've done well. So
if they get to the semi-finals, they automatically pick up a spot for the Under-20 FIFA World Cup. And we're hoping that this team gets, at least to get to the semi-final spot to assure a place in the global Under-20 Fiesta. Let's switch our attention very quickly as we go to Europe, where the fires is really intense right now. It's the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League, and what matches we witnessed during the week. I have to say, interesting matchup. But for me, 2 matches, Princewill, Arsenal against, we have PSG, and then you have Inter against Barcelona. Okay, which do you want to talk on?
I think both games, they are fantastic game. But yesterday's game kept everyone on their seats, on their toes rather. It was an intensive game, a proper UCL standard game, a thriller of 6 goals, in the first leg. Nobody saw that coming, and we are hoping for so many other goals. You could see the intensity of the game. You could see it's an end-to-end stuff. You have to have the energy, you have to have the capacity to run all through 90 minutes. It's not child's play. It's not for a joke. This is proper UCL. If you want to beat the best, you have to be the best.
I love that. I love that.
Absolutely. Let me take the very first game. At times when you have key players in your team and they're not there, it has a way of drawing back the team. Thomas Partey not actually playing in the game that Arsenal took against PSG had his own drawback. He will be in Paris in the return leg. But for me, I think Arsenal didn't really come to the party because the midfield battle was won by PSG, and that gave them an edge. When that goal came in the 4th minute by Ousmane Dembele, it was quite obvious that they had a mission. And what was that mission? Put in a goal, sit back, absorb the pressure, and counter-attack. For the Barcelona game, thrilling, all true.
Yeah.
That's like Opa rightly said, that's the kind of game you want to see in a UCL format. I think both teams were vulnerable, but Barcelona was more vulnerable, considering the fact that this is a team playing at home. Considering 3 goals simply shows that so much need to be done within the defense.
I agree with you, though. I totally agree with you. But let's leave the past now and look forward to the future as we preview the second leg of games. Arsenal will be traveling to the Parc des Princes in France to play against PSG. Now, PSG have the luxury of playing in front of their supporters, who were very vociferous at the Emirates. You saw them.
Last time,
so now, do you think an upset is on the cards? Do you think Arsenal has what it takes to go to France and grab that ticket that PSG already have a hold of?
Well, at this stage, it's anybody's game. That's the simple truth. If you want to go by psychological input, that won't work. It is how much energy and tactical grill you bring to bear on the game right now that will give you an edge. Somebody was telling me the last time Arsenal and the PSG met, Arsenal got it better than them. But the kind of technical input, Eric, what's his name now?
Arteta?
No.
Oh, Enrique.
Yes, Enrique. Thank you very much. Brought to bear at the Emirates was quite something different. And I just hope that when the Arsenal guys get to Parc de France, they would know that this is a mission, and their fans will also want to have glory at the back of their mind.
Barcelona traveled to Italy at the San Siro. Inter have lost at the San Siro twice. Remember, they were beaten by AC Milan and then AS Roma in the Serie A. Do you think Barcelona, having watched the game midweek, to see that, do you think they can actually go there and get the ticket against Inter?
It's possible. Like Princewill said, at this stage, there's no place like it's my home or it's at the back of my house. If you want it more, you just have to be like an Oliver Twist. If you want it more, you get it all. I think for Barcelona, they've showed stuff that, okay, when you get when your opponents call you, you have the ability to score back, and I think that is working good for them. For me, I think going to San Siro is not a big deal. Who says anybody can be beaten in their house? I just want to see a fine football like I saw yesterday at the Camp Nou. So I think the winner take is all.
You're very right, but I think what Hansi Flick deploys is what a lot of people call high-risk football.
It is that high risk. I keep disagreeing with you.
So the high-risk football basically exposes you, but you will score. Your opponent will score you, but they will outscore you. I think that has been the theme for Barcelona this season. They've lost, actually. That sometimes we see the result backfire, but sometimes it also works out. But one thing you can be sure of is that if you score Barcelona, they'll score you back.
Obviously.
So, guys, we're looking forward to the matches next week. On Tuesday, Barcelona will be in action against PSG, and then on Wednesday, Arsenal will travel to France to take on PSG, the French champions. Of course, Arsenal finished second. Somebody say second, and nearly doesn't kill the bird. But of course, nearly will not kill the bird, because we're taking a break at this time. Arsenal just took a shot at you, in case you don't know. All right, we'll take a break at this time and come back and look at some of the hottest players, the transfer prospects across Europe. We'll analyze them and look at exactly what it is, which teams, should get who and who should go to which club. Let's come back and get straight into that. Well, welcome back to Sports in 60 Minutes. Interesting conversation with the guys, Princewill Oviesan and, of course, Opeyemi Imoru. Let's get straight into the discussion and talk about the transfer prospects. I mean, we have interesting names on the lineup. Princewill, let's start with Viktor Gyokeres. This guy plays for Sporting, scores goals for free, 3-2-1-5, no limit. Viktor Gyokeres, tell us about him.
Yes, a young man, 26 years old. His market value is about 8.6 or 8.5 million euros right now. Still has a contract with Sporting Lisbon, but I think leaving Sporting Lisbon to Europe will be a good trademark for him, considering the fact that a lot of clubs want top-notch striker, 28 goals plus all through the season. That shows that he's at the peak of his career, and he would definitely want to make more headlines in another league. But one thing I want to say is this. Different leagues have its own philosophy. Doing pretty well in Portugal might not be the same when you get to other league. We've seen some players have such issues, but he's a top notch for any player who wants a good striker right now.
He's been linked with Manchester United, like, you know,
just like Osimhen has been linked with Man United.
Yeah, like the coach of Manchester United coached him at Sporting. Remember, what's his name? Ruben Amorim coached him at Sporting. So he didn't want to take any players from the club, but he said he's going back at the end of the season. But do you think if he goes to Manchester United or maybe Barcelona, do you think this guy will still replicate that form in these two clubs that we just mentioned?
Well, considering the fact that Manchester United, in their current position, need a striker, they need an off and on striker.
Yeah.
He will do well. He will do well. And if you look at the midfield of Manchester United this season, the fluidity has not been there. With the caliber of his kind of player who comes back to get balls and make quick runs, I think it's a good club. For Barcelona, I don't think that will be a good fit for him, I must be honest. But for Manchester United, find one.
Okay, tell us about the player we have to talk about, the Nigerian, on everybody's lips.
Viktor Osimhen. Yeah, I think Viktor Osimhen is the star boy now because he's on everybody's plate. Everybody wants to have him in their team because he has been a fantastic player. His value is estimated around 72 million euros, and good for him. He has got 22 league goals on loan from Napoli to Galatasaray, and he has been doing amazingly well. He's trying to let Napoli know that, see, you are missing something, and I think everybody wants to have him in their team. If a person like Viktor Osimhen goes to, let's say, somewhere like Arsenal or Manchester United,
where is he most likely to go? For, in your own opinion, which club do you think Osimhen will suit and as in fit the most?
I think it suits any team, both teams that I've mentioned now, either Arsenal or Manchester United. It's now left for him to choose where he feels, suits him better. Because we are just speculating, we don't know what he wants.
Yeah.
He knows what he wants, but everybody wants him in their team, and I think he's a good fit. If he comes to Manchester United, they are lucky. If he goes to Arsenal, they needed him too.
So anyway, let's hope that they can sort out the disgruntlement with Napoli first before they can actually get Viktor Osimhen. Prince, you tell us another name that's definitely in the mention that a lot of people haven't been talking about so much. Julian Alvarez moved from Man City to Atletico Madrid, and all of a sudden he's back in the news.
Well, with the caliber of Alvarez, you agree with me that he's such an enterprising player. When he was in Man City, he did all it takes to showcase that he can score goals. 24 goals this season.
Yeah.
He will fit into any attacking line of these two teams Okoye just mentioned. But for me, I think staying back in Atletico Madrid will also help him to grow more. That's his own choice. But he will definitely make headway if he leaves to any of the club in Europe.
The club mostly linked with Alvarez is actually Barcelona. The president of Barcelona, Juan Laporta, has publicly expressed his love for Julian Alvarez, not because of his goal-scoring prowess, but because of his link-up play. Remember, that's the difference between him and Haaland at Manchester City. So he's one person that really admires him. Do you think this guy can try to make that strategy to replace the eighth but still effective Lewandowski?
Well, it's a matter of choice, like Opeyemi said. We could have no opinion. He has his own final say. Almost all good players want to play for Barcelona. It's a fine club with strong tradition, pedigree. If Alvarez decides to go to Barcelona, fine choice. But would he actually fit into the style of Hans Flick's? That's the big question.
Okay, let's move now to Mohammed Salah. He's still having that standoff with Liverpool. We don't know if he's going to renew his contract.
He has renewed his contract.
Has he renewed his contract?
Yes, he has done that.
Okay, so since he has renewed his contract for 2 more years, I think that makes it more interesting. That means we get to see more Mohammed Salah in the Premier League. And which means we have to talk about this person who is making a name for himself in the Premier League, Alexander Isak. Fantastic player.
Before you go on, there's this very wrong, what adjective will I use now, that Arsenal has always had.
Yeah.
As Wenger said, he wanted to sign almost all the best. They never signed.
But they never got them.
Are you aware that Isak was actually contacted to come to Arsenal?
What happened?
We should ask Arteta. He ignored him.
Oh my. Oh my.
Please go ahead,
Alexander Isak, tell us about it.
Fantastic player, just age 25. When Isak was going to Newcastle, he was looking like ordinary.
From Real
Can he-
Sociedad.
Can he actually kill a fly? But he came to the Premier League and he's showing workings, fantastic player. He has scored a whole lot of goals for Newcastle. He helped them to secure
The League Cup.
the League Cup, and I don't know why Arsenal are sleeping on him.
I don't know.
Even he can fit in for Manchester United too.
Look, I think
Good
anybody who gets Alexander Isak has got a bargain there.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, this guy he has proven over
He's a
time.
Trojan.
Yeah, like, even when you watch him play for Sweden, you know that, look, he's intelligent. He can dribble, he can score. So
He can run.
He can run. So it gives you a lot of options that a striker will give you. So interesting names there. And I'm hoping that at least my favorite club will get one of these names, because these are top 5 prospects that we've looked at that clubs could possibly get during the summer. Without further ado, let's go into our picks for this weekend. We've taken a look at some games that we feel you find interesting. In the Premier League, we already know that Liverpool have been crowned champion, but then the other slot for Europe is still very, very much intense. Let's talk about Princewill, the game between Aston Villa and Fulham. Run us through your preview and your expectations and predictions as well for the game.
Well, with the current form Aston Villa is, and Marcus Rashford being a top-notch, he's on loan.
Yeah.
He has actually contributed immensely before they were exited from the Champions League. It's going to be a fine game. Fulham is also in fine form. They've won, in the last 5, they've won 4. In the last 6, they've won 4, drew 1, lost 1.
Yeah.
It's going to be a game of who wants it more. Aston Villa is at home. I think Aston Villa will take it.
Do you have any player in mind that you think might most likely score, and maybe just run us through?
I'm looking at Rashford.
Rashford is injured, so maybe Oli Watkins, who's the
Oli
top
Watkins,
scorer
yeah.
of that team.
Oli
Rashford
Watkins
is
just
actually
come back
out
from injury.
injured. Yeah.
Is he going to start the game?
He most likely will start the game because it's a must-win for them. Emery knows that he's out of Europe, and basically this is like one route that they have to, stay in contention
Go back
for
to,
Europe. So
Champions
I'm actually backing Oli Watkins to get a goal, and I think that if you ask me, I'd say Villa will probably take the game.
Yes. 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move now to Brighton and Newcastle.
I think is no bargain for me. I think Newcastle want this. Like I said, if you want it, you get it. Like an Oliver Twist.
But they're playing at Amex.
They've lost their last 2 games.
They're playing at Amex.
I don't think right now Liverpool actually. I said
Brighton.
Newcastle actually care. I think they are going for this. In as much as they are playing away from home, I think they are going for this because they have Nottingham Forest, Manchester City
chasing them
their throat, so down their throat. So I think they really want it, and I'm looking forward to Alexander Isak getting a goal.
So you have any prediction for
I think 2-0
in favor of Newcastle?
Yeah.
That's a bold prediction.
I go for 2-1.
2-1.
In favor of Newcastle.
You think Newcastle will win?
Yes.
I actually think, because a lot of people don't expect Brighton. I mean, this is like the
In the
tail end
last
of
4
the
games,
season.
they've not done pretty well.
Yeah, I know,
They've not
I
done
understand
pretty well.
that. But I also feel like an upset is on the card here.
I don't think so.
I don't think it will happen here.
Okay, so let's see how it goes. I'll stay on the wire, stay on the fence, like they always say. But I'm looking forward to this next game. One team has all to play for. The other one has nothing to play for. Chelsea against champions Liverpool. Princewill.
Wow. It's not been too good for Chelsea. Mascara, as some of our friends say, is mascara. The promises he made to the fans and the management, they're not actually coming to fruition. But that as it may, Liverpool has nothing to lose. But I don't think Chelsea will win this game.
You think Liverpool will play spoilers?
Yes. And we could just end up 2-1.
Who should we look out for in this
Liverpool.
game? Which player do you think will steal the show? Any player in mind?
Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer. You think Cole Palmer will play very well?
Yes.
He hasn't been really effective for Chelsea lately.
Against the top 4, he usually comes to the party.
Okay. Any contrary view?
I think for Liverpool, like you said, they have nothing to play for. But for Chelsea, they have plenty things to play for. Liverpool is not in any competition right now. They are just sitting right there to be crowned properly, in as much as we know that. But Chelsea, they still have other competition to play, and they might likely want to rest some of the players to play for them. So they have a whole lot but Liverpool will still take the day.
Liverpool to take the
I think
day.
they are going to play for pride.
Oh, I love that. I don't know, something about pride when the cup is up. Let's move now to Real Madrid against Celta Vigo. This is not coming at a good time for Real Madrid. Their defense line out, all of them. Like their first choice defense line out. And you're meeting a Celta Vigo side that almost beat Barcelona.
Yeah.
So, like, put yourself in Real Madrid's position. What would you do differently? Do you trust your academy players to stand in for the defense? Marcos Asensio is one of the academy products of Real Madrid, but Ancelotti doesn't seem to trust these players. If you were Ancelotti up there, what would you do?
I think he has no choice right now.
He has no choice.
He have to play them because, and he just have to tell them that, see, and those guys too want to put their name in the good books.
But don't forget Valverde and Tchouaméni have played at the back before.
I see, whatsoever thing Ancelotti is going to do for that particular time, you have to do it because, like I said, pride. You have to come back like a wounded lion because losing the Copa del Rey is still fresh in their head. Everybody wants to get their heart back in one place and like, see, we still have something to play for. We are still chasing down Barcelona in the league title. I think whatsoever person is going to take any role right now, I think needs to play for the badge.
Kylian Mbappe will make his return to the starting 11. Do you think is the player we should watch out for, especially knowing that Barcelona are 4 points ahead of Real Madrid?
Any day, anytime, Kylian Mbappe will always come to the party. He's such a talented, extra skilled player. He's a human. That's what I call him. And I honestly believe that a game against Celta Vigo, he will want to bring in his A game, considering the fact that if they win this game, the chase for the points will also reduce. Yes. For me, like what Okwe rightly said, losing the Copa del Rey was a big blow. A very tough one for the fans and also the management. So this will act as a SOCOM.
Our last game is Bologna against Juventus. That's the battle of 4th and 5th.
That's in Serie A.
Yeah, in Serie A. Bologna this season, shock of the season, but they've been very effective. Princewill, run us through that game. What most likely outcome we should see? Juve are a very compact defensive team, but lately they've been shipping in goals.
They've not done too well in the last couple of 5 games. Precisely, they've drew most of the games. Bologna is a team that wants to prove a point. They want to be in Europe. And if you look at the technical input of the coach himself, what's that his name again?
They've changed coach.
Yes, they have.
Yes, they've changed
coach. In the middle of the season, they weren't doing too well.
With Mota.
Exactly. But for me, I think it's going to be a game where Juventus need to prove their might, their worth. I see a draw.
Any contrary view?
I think I'll stick with Prince.
I also stick with a draw because, I mean, Juve, no, I don't expect anything less from that. All right, there you have it, guys. That's a package for today, but we can't go without telling you, that it's a tradition. Princewill, any plans for the weekend?
I have a wedding in Ikorodu.
You're going to the remotest part of Lagos. What's happening?
I don't think any part is remote in Lagos.
I also feel like that, but I don't know which part of Ikorodu you're going to.
They call the place Aga, very close to the Central Mosque. The Central Mosque in Ikorodu is just by the market.
By the market, yes. Okay. That's still outskirts of Ikorodu.
Have you been to Ikorodu of late? You'll be shocked. There are over 60 estates in Ikorodu.
Are you serious?
I'm not joking.
I haven't been there lately, though. But I know that there are lots of construction works on the road going on. Okay. What you got planned for the weekend? Any outing, any date,
I think one of these days you guys have to organize something.
And take you out.
To take you out.
Yes.
I think we actually owe
I'm trying to think of
something to say.
Whenever this question comes up, I'm trying to.
You're always expecting the question.
You're on spot. We'll have to take out one of these.
We will take out.
I don't have anything to do.
Don't worry. We'll work something out. I'm pretty sure. Femi, what will you be doing this weekend? What will you be doing this weekend?
Femi's busy every weekend.
Anyways, look, whatever you're doing, just make sure that you come here next week and get, that knock on the head from the guys, because we really missed you on the show, though. Anyway, that's our package for today. I want to say a big thank you to Princewill Oviesan for coming to the program today. Okpa, your input was fantastic. We really love that. I'm sure our listeners had a swell time on today's edition of Sports in 60 Minutes. My name again is Olamide Onwuka, saying, look, you have to make sure that you have a fantastic weekend because you have no choice. From the entire production crew of Sports in 60 Minutes, I'm Olamide once again signing out. Bye.